So, hello everyone, welcome to the new day and new vlog. Today we have with us our beloved Muntasir. You must have seen that in some of the videos we have discussed about what were the subjects that we took in our previous semesters, whether it was first semester, second semester, and in this third semester. Also, we have discussed about the project kickoff meeting and seminar kickoff meeting. We thought that we'll go through each of the subjects one by one. We'll try to go through the details of these subjects, like the exam overview, or how was the subject and how was our experience, right, and some of our recommendations. So if we start for the first semester, in the first semester, the very first exam which Muntasir has to give was
German A1.
Yeah. So German A1 is the very first exam, and I think it's different for him because I did A1 in India and I started with A2.1. So I thought that since Muntasir did A1 German in his very first semester when he arrived here, so it would be good if we start our first semester discussion with this A1 German topic. So how was your experience? Because since you studied German in Bangladesh, or you arrived here and then you started?
In Bangladesh, I hypothetically started German language, but like Duolingo and all, but didn't do much. After coming here, the university sent me a mail that, and within the first year I have to submit my German A1 certificate. So that was mandatory. So then I got a mail. I noticed that I asked some senior brother, and they said university offers German languages. And the price is
190 euros
for student. And it's double for the outside person.
So around 300 euros it was the price.
Even if you are outside, you can do German course here, but for university student it's 190 euro. And I mailed the Ralph, that is the supervisor of our German language course.
And how to register for it, I'll put the video description link as well. In the description we have talked about it once as well. And one of the questions which people also ask sometimes, that there is a German course during orientation, right? So which one is preferable for you, or how you choose, how you decided that you have to do evening classes, or you can opt for the orientation A1 course as well?
But I didn't take the orientation course. That was quite long. I had to come at least 2 months early. I have to pay for it, lots of problems. So I didn't take the orientation course. But I came later. There is another orientation, or 2-day orientation offered by the computer science student and the supervisor. So that's easy. You don't have to pay money and all. So I took that one as well and took the A1 course here. I would say you can do A1 language course here
once you arrive here.
So that's easier sometimes.
And how was the subject experience for you, because you attended the A1 class?
So
in university?
for subjects, it's, I believe, between our 6 months semester, the language course is only 3 months. So keep in mind that within 3 months, I believe you have to usually all 3 months, because even if you are starting the classes on October 24, November, December, January, in February is our exam. So maybe maximum 3.5 months, something like that. So after that you have to give your exam, that is any level. So I would say the timeline is short to learn a level, but the teachers are good. So for me it was online. I believe now everything is offline. You have to go there in person. But it was online. It was good. Our professor gave us various step-by-step guide throughout the German language. The basic class was hi, hello, and then steps, some basic grammar. In the A1, you don't need to learn much grammar. You just need many vocabularies and some basic grammars, and that is all. So that was the class. It was
good. Just one more question, that what was the mode of language? Like, they used to explain things in German, because you are starting your first level in German, so or they used to explain in English?
They used to explain in English. The first level, as they know that we are not expected to tell or understand German, they explain everything in the German. But after few classes, you are forced to talk with your partner or in between the sessions in German. Because I'm saying forced because we don't like that. It's like, okay,
depends on person to person, but
we don't talk easily because German, everyone, even the professor says German is a hard language. So you have to give some emphasis on it. So that was the class of experience. It was overall good. It was quite lengthy. There is one point here. German language class is almost more than 2 hours. which is unusual with our other classes, which is 1.5 hour and all. So it's quite long. Sometimes it gets boring, but if you stick to the class, you will learn lot of
Yeah.
it.
And now you're doing which level?
I'm now doing A2.2.
Yeah, so I think, see, it's about your persistence and practice as well. I think if you
Correct.
do it and if you try to attend it, then it depends on the person, like how much you want to learn. And I think now when you get to know more things, then it becomes quite,
it becomes
understandable.
quite easier and
Yeah.
clear. Yeah, so that
So-
is it. So my main thing is to practice,
Mhm.
learn vocabulary. In the beginning section, I would say learn as much vocabulary as you can, and with basic grammars you can easily crack it.
Yeah.
And after three and a half months, in February, we had our first exam.
Yeah.
Middle of the February.
Yeah, yeah,
Day one exam. It was in the morning.
yeah.
I went there, and it was good. It was not that much difficult. Similar to any language exam like IELTS or TOEFL or anything.
Yeah.
It had four section, but unlike other exam institute or wherever you are giving exam, every exam institution has speaking. But in university, if you do that, you don't have speaking. The 15 marks of speaking is divided into throughout the class.
Your performance.
Your class performance, that is your attendance.
Yeah.
And if you are doing homework regularly, if you do full attendance and if you do your homework regularly, you will get 15 marks. So that's a good point.
And talking about the exam, since you started it, so how was your exam experience? Because like you had reading, listening, writing. So how was it?
So I have three parts in exam A1: reading, listening, and writing. I believe at first there was listening and then reading and then some time for writing. So you would say for that part it was not that much easy, but it was medium. I
Manageable.
would say manageable, because to be honest, if you have seen my 8.2.1 experience video,
Yeah, I'll put that link as well.
I would say that my 8.2.1 exam was easier than my A1 exam.
Okay.
So that was my feedback. But
Yeah.
while I was giving A1, it was a little bit seemed a little bit challenging to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So it actually depends on person to person. If you are learning, because I would say that I didn't practice enough for my A1. So if you have good vocabulary graphs, and then you have to practice some of the questions in YouTube, you can see exam questions and you can try to answer this.
Yeah.
And then your exam will be easier.
Okay.
So
And
that's it.
talking about like exam questions, so there might be some fill in the blanks, some match of the following, or somewhere you have to cross out some of the points. So pattern, I think you can refer. Also, I'll put the A2.1 exam, because that video we also made when just after the exam. Like after that we discussed our exam experience. So I'll put that link as well too, so that you get some idea that how is the pattern during these exams. And so I think the exam length is about 1.5 hours or something like that.
More or less 20 minutes for the listening part.
Yeah.
And that is fixed because they play the audios in the front.
Yeah.
So that's another trick. Do sit in the front.
Yeah.
Because if you sit in the back and the audio device is in the front,
Yeah.
you sometimes have difficulty to hear. Also, they make sure that the voice is reaching everywhere. But in a large room we are sitting, so there was sometimes echo, and sometimes other person may talk. So it's easier if you sit in the front.
Got it.
Do calculate your timing.
Yeah.
So that's another point. In the listening section, it's almost the fix, because they are playing the audio and you have to answer it instantly.
Yeah.
So after the listening section, you have fixed time, or almost around 1 hour or 1 hour 10 minutes for your reading and writing. It doesn't matter which order you can go.
Yeah.
You can go either way. But usually what people do is, at first they solve the reading. There are usually three passages, and on those passages there are some questions. So you read one passage, you read answer some question, you read another passage, some question, and then on writing you have
Write a letter.
write a letter, something to write about. And sometimes there are additional points, like you have some information given, and from the information you have to give some fill up some blanks in
Okay.
writing.
Yeah.
But that is not usual. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it
Yeah.
doesn't come.
Yeah.
But the later part usually comes. Later can be formal or informal.
Okay. And one more question. So during your class experience, do they discuss the exam pattern as well? Like.
Yeah, they discuss the exam pattern, how it should be, how they took some. They have actually given some template that you can follow while writing a letter.
Okay.
And in the end of the class, they took some exam question as well. They took one dummy exam.
Yeah.
So that's one point. But two point I would share that it would be very beneficial if someone have told me earlier. That is, do focus on your vocabulary.
Yeah.
If you have good vocabulary, you can easily crack it.
Yeah.
So that I figured out just
by learning and doing.
Like 1 or 2 week before exam, when
Mhm.
I was giving mock exam, then I realized if I have just known this vocabulary, I can easily solve it. But then I didn't have much time to learn vocabulary. At the beginning of the course, I didn't focus much on vocabulary. I was just focusing on the class, what they are teaching, that's all. But if you just learn, memorize those vocabulary, learn it at the beginning, try to learn as much vocabulary as you can. Another thing is, while you are in the middle of the section, for example, if it is a 3.5 months exam class, and you are in after 1 or 2 months, give some dummy exam.
Okay.
In the YouTube, you can give some exam. So if you give some exam, then you will realize, okay, this is how the exam is going to be. Because when we are learning things, we are learning many things, but I'm not sure how in the exam it will happen. So if you are giving a 2.1, A2, or if you have given exam before, you already know the pattern.
Some of the idea you have.
But if you after 1 or 2 months you give 1 or 2 exam, it would be very beneficial when you are learning new topics. You would say, okay, this is how you are going to solve.
Correct.
things.
And I think this is a very good point as well, because if you can see some of the mock exams from Goethe, from I think on internet you will find some of the exams. It is available, so you can see those exams, how the pattern comes and how the people do, and you can test your performance. I haven't done A1 here, but that's why I thought that it's good, because it's, some of the people think that should I do A1, because if I do not know German, then should I do that in orientation course or in evening class? So you can do also in evening class like him. You can also learn, and Muntasir now is doing a 2.2. So see, he is doing each semester and he is progressing very in an excellent manner. So and if we talk about just the summary, like as you have discussed about your class experience, so there are some activities as well, like speaking.
In the class there are various activities. Like I said, we are forced to talk German. So sometimes it can happen that between some time you have 2 minute session or 3 minute session, and in a breakout session. So I would say the offline experience, because most likely you will come into an offline class. So in the offline class, you will pair up with 2 or 3 partner, and then you will talk with each other. The teacher will give us your topic or give you some exercise task, and then you have to talk among yourself in German about this topic.
This is a good practice, because when I attended online class as well, then this used to happen, and now even in offline classes this used to happen sometimes, that you are given some activities, you have to discuss, speak in German. So I think it's good, although it depends on person to person from where you want to learn language, right? But I think it's good option to even learn it during the university evening classes as well. The timing we have discussed, I'll put some of the videos links so that you can go through those videos as well as if you talk about the timing, he said almost 2.5 hour classes, and twice a week, right? So you can either choose Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. So like that you can choose. And this was about the subject experience and the exam experience. And how was your experience now? Did you find it useful for you, or how would you contemplate that?
Like you said, that it is actually gradual progress. A1, then A2.1, then A2.2. So you gradually improve your knowledge. So that's my experience. So that is like you have to improve it gradually. If it is learning a language, you cannot do it overnight. So you have to learn it gradually. So overall, it was good. Now you are answering a lot of questions, so I would answer one more question. When you are here, sometimes people ask that if I am registering for a class, do you have to register for exam separately, or is it automatically registered or not? If I do classes outside and I want to give the exam, can I do that? So the 190 euro fee is for the class and the exam. If you are paying the fee, you are automatically registered for the exam and you are doing the classes. So to sit for the exam, you have to pay the 190 euro fee. So if you are doing classes outside and just giving the exam, still you have to pay 190 euro. But you can do that.
But as you said, the attendance also counts.
Attendance also count, but that's not a good idea. But one thing is you can do if you want to do online, or you are after coming here you feel like, okay, I want to do it online in India and give some exam in some other places. You can do that. That's a complicated choice, because if you are doing it online, the classes most likely to occur in your daytime, so that's a problem. But because in Germany all the language classes are after 5, like
Yeah,
5
so-
or 5:15 to 7:30
Yeah.
mostly, and your regular classes will be finished till 5.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't ever have clashes with your classes and German language class.
Yeah, correct. I think this is a good point because for our university, RPTU Kaiserslautern, the evening classes are usually we see the evening timings.
Correct.
So, and I think now since some of the classes are offline, so I'm not sure if you will be able to do online
Correct.
because they have shifted to the offline community.
session.
So you have to go there and you have to attend the class, and I think it's good if you're paying here.
Yeah.
And I think it's good enough that one can go in the classes as well, right?
Classes,
So either you
yes.
don't join the course. So, but it depends on you. This was specifically Muntasir's experience, the A1 German level, the very first subject, the very first exam that he gave during, and I also gave my 2.1 during the first semester. So thank you, Muntasir, for sharing your insights and very detailed experience, guidance, recommendation, tips, and I think a good amount of points you can find out of it. So that's it for this vlog. Rest like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye. Ciao ciao. Namaste. Chalo. See you in new day, new vlog.